Mr. President, I rise to speak in support of Amendment number 3391 to the Comprehensive Addiction and Recovery Act of 2015. I am proud to join Senator Daines in filing this important amendment. The Daines-Peters amendment would make it possible for certain dishonorably discharged veterans to be eligible for veterans treatment courts. Specifically, the amendment would allow the Attorney General to determine veterans treatment court eligibility on a case-by-case basis to dishonorably discharged veterans that have been diagnosed with service-connected post-traumatic stress disorder, military sexual trauma, or traumatic brain injuries. Currently, veteran courts are open to any veteran with a discharge other than dishonorable or a dishonorable discharge that can be attributed to substance abuse. However, studies have shown a direct connection to PTSD, TBI, and MST are the leading cause of substance abuse disorder. In general, drug courts reduce correctional costs, protect community safety, and improve public welfare. Veteran treatment courts take the work of drug courts one step further. According to the National Association of Drug Court Professionals, veterans treatment courts bring the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, healthcare networks, the Veterans Benefits Administration, State Departments of Veterans Affairs, volunteer veteran mentors, and veterans family support organizations together in one place in order to provide support for veterans. These are resources that speak to the unique needs of this nation's veterans. In my home state of Michigan, Judge Michelle Friedman Apple is a veterans treatment court in Oak Park, is the site of weekly accountability, encouragement, and rehabilitation, and I commend her work. Our veterans treatment court judges are committed to the well-being of this nation's veterans, connecting them to services they need to reach their full potential. Service members suffering from the invisible wounds of war who are discharged, regardless of the characterization of that discharge, truly need the assistance provided by veterans treatment courts. That is why the Daines-Peters amendment is so important. Former service members, particularly those suffering from PTSD, TBI, and MST, should have access to veterans treatment centers and courts. I urge my colleagues to support the Daines-Peters amendment number 3391. But Mr. President, I would like to stay on the subject of veterans for a moment longer. Behavioral changes are often seen in individuals suffering from mental traumas like PTSD and traumatic brain injury or TBI. Unfortunately, those individuals will often receive a less than honorable discharge, also known as a bad paper discharge, rather than an honorable discharge. This discharge status makes veterans ineligible for certain benefits, including GI benefits and VA home loans. This is simply unacceptable, and we need to make a change. Our nation's heroes who honorably served their country deserve access to the care and benefits that they have earned. That's why I introduced the Fairness for Veterans Act, which will help these veterans. The Fairness of Veterans Act will create a presumption in favor of the veteran with a bad paper discharge when petitioning the Secretary of Defense for an upgrade in discharge status based on hard medical evidence certified by the VA or appropriate medical professional. This bill has the support of both parties and in both chambers. I introduced the Fairness for Veterans Act with my Republican colleagues, Steve Daines from Montana and Thom Tillis from North Carolina. I appreciate the many senators who have co-sponsored the bill since introduction, particularly Senator Gillibrand, who has been a champion for the bill on the Armed Services Committee. Today in the House of Representatives, Representative Mike Coffman, a Republican from Colorado, Tim Walz, Democrat from Minnesota, Lee Zeldin, Republican from New York, and Kathleen Rice, a Democrat from New York, led a number of members introducing the bipartisan bill. This legislation is also supported by a number of veterans groups, including Iraq and Afghan Veterans of America, Veterans of Foreign Wars, Disabled Veterans of America, Military Officers Association of America, the American Legion, Paralyzed Veterans of America, Vietnam Veterans of America, the Veterans Health Council, United Soldiers and Sailors of America, and the Military Veterans Advocacy Company. Improperly discharged service members should not lose access to the benefits that they have earned through their service. That's why we must ensure that they are getting the fairness they deserve when petitioning for an upgraded discharge status. This is a nonpartisan issue, and I am committed to fighting on behalf of our nation's veterans. Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.